Hey guys, it's Jackie from Krusin, the Sierra Farm. So I am out here today at the compost row here. We have extended it this year and we've combined it into one. And the purpose of this row, it's about, if I had to guess, it's about 12 to 16 inches tall. And this is what we will be using to grow our potatoes this year. And following, you know that we planted our potatoes in this bed last year, and I did not hill them. They grew amazingly, and I actually had 2 crops worth. So this time we're going to do things a little bit differently. Taking you into the greenhouse really quick to show you that we've got some French fingerling potatoes here. They are, if I'm not mistaken, like a pinkish red skin, and I think it's white on the inside, I'm not sure. And then here's some banana potatoes. They're kind of like another fingerling, but they're called banana. And so these are in here growing some eyes for us, and you can see that they're starting, and that's great. Let me see if I'm seeing anything on these ones yet. Yes, the beginnings of right there. Yes. So at the very ends there, I'm going to give them another couple days, but we're going to go ahead and get planted what we have, and I'll take you to see that really quick. Some of our seeds starting, we got a very late start this year. So, oh, here I can show you the, yeah, so it's called banana, and they're these potatoes. I purchased the French fingerling because, okay, so it's like a yellow flesh. Does it show it on here? Doesn't, oh yeah, so white. Anyway, so what I've heard on these French fingerlings is that they are absolutely prolific growers. From one seed potato, I've heard you can get a lot. And so let me take you in here and show you some cute little fuzzy butts that we've got happening here. I've had to splint some, this chick right here has its feet splinted. You can see the cardboard right here. It had some curled toes. It had a hard time coming out of its shell. I had to help it. And thank you to Elbon Hill Farm, who helped me out with some new ways that I'm going to be hatching, because I did not have a successful percentage hatch rate. So we're going to be working on that. Anyway, back to the seeds, the seed potatoes. Let's go back over to where we were. I know. All right. We had actual snow. Was it yesterday? Guess it would have been yesterday morning. Snow and rain. Craziness. Anyway, so if you followed my short that I just posted not too long ago, I had some store-bought potatoes. We actually purchased some reds because we were out of all of our potatoes from last year, except for the stuff that I have freeze-dried, but they're cut up into hash brown stuff. So anyway, right here we have some, I believe they're like a Norland red, and we purchased those at St. Patrick's Day time, and they were already, you can see that, they were already getting eyes on them. These right here were from a russet potato bag, and as you can see, they were already getting eyes on them. And then this one I've really been hanging on to, and these have just absolutely grown eyes like crazy on them. And so we will be planting them here in our compost pile, all homemade compost. And The chickens helped us do all of this. As you can see, I've got compost piles here in the chicken coop, or the chicken run. And so I have this whole row to go for the other French fingerlings and the banana potatoes. I might go ahead and at the other end down there grow our sweet potatoes. We'll see. Anyway, so basically, I am just going to, I'm just going to dig down in this pile about 6 to 8 inches. Okay, and I'm going to set that in there, and I'm going to cover it up. And we will do that for every single one of our potatoes. And it's that easy. I stagger them, so I don't grow straight across. See how I've staggered them? So we'll do the same for this one here. Dig down 6 to 8 inches and put her down in there. Cover it up. And that is what I will do. I'll just continue all the way down. I'm not really concerned about, I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in so you can see. Obviously, you want to be a little bit careful with ones that already have this big of eyes on them. And some people will definitely cut those up. I prefer to do mine this way. So you just cover that up. We will water this in really good. So I'm just going to keep going. I don't need you guys to have to sit and watch me do this whole thing, but that's how I do it. But so not everybody has, you know, the size yard that I do, or the ability to make their own compost, or, you know, do this big long row like I'm doing. So here's a thought. Think outside the box. You could, let me find this one. Hang on. Nursery pot right here. If I had to guess, I think it's about a 20, maybe a 15 gallon, or like maybe a 15 or a 20 gallon squat pot. And it's just from the nursery. So go to your nursery, see if they have something that you can put on your porch or your balcony, and fill it with good soil. Sandy, loamy soil is the best, or compost, a mixture. Just, you don't want it compact, okay? And it'll have the holes at the bottom to drain. Another idea would be this, which I grew. This is a big, huge tree container that we had purchased a big developed tree in. And I grew potatoes in here in our greenhouse during the winter. And it was amazing. It provides a lot of space. So again, if you just have a patio or a small yard, you can grow yourself potatoes in those, okay? You don't have to have the land or the raised beds to do things in. Again, that's literally just a pile of compost over there. So here's another idea, okay? Here is a feed sack. This had chicken food in it. I filled it up with compost and a mixture of soil. And then I cut some little holes at the bottom, but it'll do fine. But I cut some little holes at the bottom so that it could drain, but you could grow potatoes in a feed sack. You know, and if you don't have chickens to buy feed sacks, you just want to make sure that they're not paper, but they're not plastic like this either. Well, I guess you could do it in the plastic, but I prefer not to. I mean, it's still a plastic, but it's different. It's like a woven stuff, as you can see. So that's another idea. I'm super passionate about teaching people how to grow their own food, and that It can be done, let's say, you know, you have a really well manicured yard and, you know, you just don't want to mess up that with, you know, with having to have piles of dirt everywhere. Again, you can get yourself some really nice, you know, clay terracotta pots and do them in clay terracotta pots. My biggest suggestion to you is this: start growing your own food. Don't rely on the grocery store. Start doing it yourself. Be reliant on yourself and your community. You know, I can guarantee you that you don't have to look far to find somebody that's growing food. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you what I got going on today. And if you're already subscribed and following me, I really truly appreciate you. And if you aren't yet, I would really appreciate if you decide to subscribe to my channel now. And hit that like button. It sure helps the channel out. And I got to get back to work. So we'll see you on the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye.